Coming up on today's Liberty, the DSS is in need of an upgrade, which means it's time to reclaim a few planets from the Illuminate. Warstriders are giving the Federation's finest a little more than a headache, and why carrying out some fundamental domestic duties is the lifeblood of democracy in today's Super-Earth Art of War.
Helldivers to Hellpods. Repeat, Helldivers to Hellpods.
Attention Helldivers. The great expedition into the gloom has not gone unnoticed. The enemies of freedom, and in particular the bugs, are mounting heavy resistance. To press forward, High Command has authorized critical upgrades to the DSS. Humanity's shining sword floating in the darkness. These include a 5-layer spore-resistant coating, prototype atmospheric autoclave, and strict crew-wide quarantine protocols to ensure no corruption seeps aboard. Now here's where you come in. The application of these protective polymers has been slow with standard methods, but our brilliant engineers have determined that the atmospheric and gravitational conditions of Kalia make it the perfect candidate for aerosolized spray application. Fast, efficient, and safe. But there's a catch. Kalia lies deep in contested Squid territory. Your orders are clear. Seize Kalia from the Illuminate and fortify it. In addition, secure Eloraf and Hydrobius, while ensuring Hellmire, the location of Outpost Alpha, remains firmly under Super-Earth control. Only then can the DSS be sharpened into the ultimate weapon of managed democracy. Helldivers, this major order isn't just another routine campaign. It's the groundwork for our final victory in the gloom. Carry out your duty with resolve and show the enemies of humanity that no shadow, no spore, and no alien treachery can halt the march of freedom.
A super Reddit concept from user Blink Dodge has caught the attention of many on the GWW. The ADM-11 Estoc, a shoulder-mounted specialist anti-armor launcher meant to sit between the recoilless rifle and the railgun in the Helldiver arsenal. Born of a colonial militia make-do design, the Estoc fires the compact PAD-3 APHE round from a side-loading chamber for rapid bandolier reloads and opens automated backblast doors to protect nearby allies before each shot. Its design trades versatility for raw penetration. A small, hard-active penetrator drills through heavy plating, then the delayed explosive charge detonates after roughly 1 second. Survivors describe it as the quiet before a Remembrance Day firework goes off. There are 3 standout traits of the weapon. Rounds are carried in a bandolier for faster reloads than bulky launchers. The propellant's recoil and blast can knock down or seriously injure anyone behind the shooter. The backblast will not only knock down inattentive allies behind the launcher, but will also cause limb fractures or hemorrhaging. And upon pulling the trigger, the safety features will disengage the automatic backblast shields, which will open before the round is sent, giving the shooter ample time to make sure the area behind them is clear. A tactical note from the creator: use almost exclusively on heavily armored targets. The round often passes through light enemies without detonating, though players have experimented with lining up many light targets to simulate thickness, with mixed results. The creator's note nods to Dune's Cheney and frames the Estoc as a high-skill, high-reward tool, devastating in the right hands, unforgiving in the wrong ones.
So, just to be clear, if you fire this thing without checking behind you, what happens exactly?
Well, let's just say your squad mates might get a hands-on lesson in explosive force, whether they like it or not.
Democracy with bruises, then. Sounds like fun.
Exactly. But if you're disciplined and precise, the Estoc is like poetry. Piercing, explosive, and very satisfying. Just don't call it casual friendly.
Got it. 1 part power, 2 parts panic, 0 parts subtlety. Classic Helldivers. Helldivers. It has become increasingly clear that automaton warstriders are presenting a, shall we say, unique challenge to our operations on the bot front. Reports confirm that only a narrow range of armaments, most notably the recoilless rifle, are proving reliably effective. Even then, unless a strider is struck at a very specific angle on its midsection, it often requires not 1, but 2 direct hits to bring down. In some cases, our bravest have even dropped 500 kg bombs squarely upon these mechanical monstrosities. only to watch them limp away as though struck by a stiff breeze. This has led to mounting frustrations, and many squads find their loadouts forced into sameness, limiting the glorious diversity of firepower that is the hallmark of Super Earth ingenuity. High Command is aware of the issue, and our finest analysts, engineers, and philosophers are examining the matter with utmost seriousness. No official statements have been issued as of yet, but rest assured, your sacrifices and complaints have been heard. Until then, Helldivers, keep the following in mind. No matter the challenge, no matter the foe, our duty remains unchanged. We fight on, with honor and distinction. For if managed democracy could be stopped by a mere walking tank, it wouldn't be democracy at all. Now let's find out what the weather's like on the front lines. Helldiver Spizzo, what have you got for us today?
Good day, Helldivers! Today's weather report comes from the Bureau of Meteorological Mayhem, bringing you the weather so you can survive it, or at least die dramatically. First stop, Seychelles Beach, where the trees glow, the rivers sparkle, and the Illuminate are trying to vaporize you with high-energy beams. The conditions? Surprisingly pleasant. No storms, no acid rain, not even a light drizzle. Just you, the alien jungle, and an endless chorus of hostile plasma fire. Perfect weather for democracy. Pack sunscreen, bug spray, and a spare orbital strike. The Democracy Space Station is in orbit, which means orbital umbrellas are available for a small fee and a signed waiver. Meanwhile, on Errata Prime, temperatures are so high, even the Terminids are sweating, which, trust me, is terrifying. Frequent tremors rattle the cliffs. Not quite an earthquake, but enough to make your boots feel like they're doing the cha-cha. Oh, and Terminids are pouring out of the cracks like democracy-hating lava. Visibility is low in some canyon areas due to the swirling dust and sand, and the cliffs are, well, cliffy. Meaning, if you're not careful, you might add a one-way trip to your mission log. Bring shock absorbers and morally flexible shoes. And that's your galactic forecast, Helldivers. Whether you're dodging plasma beams or dodging falling rocks, remember, stay democratic, stay alive, and maybe, just maybe, don't forget your sense of humor.
Well, Seychelles Beach certainly sounds like paradise.
Paradise? Only if your idea of fun is glowing plants and getting plasma hurled at you. I'll stick to my coffee on the DSS.
Fair enough, but at least you won't be roasted alive by tremors or bugs.
True. Though, if you want my vote, I'd rather dodge a few alien squids than melt into a desert pancake. Stay safe out there, Helldivers.
Today's Moment of Valor comes to us from Helldiver Crystal, a proud private in the official Super Earth Salute Super Discord. Fighting across the blistering sands of a desert world, Crystal finds themselves facing a ferocious bug breach at extraction. Without hesitation, they arm and deploy their portable Hellbomb, a shining example of the Federation's most explosive generosity. As Terminids pour from the breach, Crystal lobs a volley of pyrotech grenades and lays down fire with their trusty Coyote. Seconds later, the grand finale. The Hellbomb detonates in a blaze of democratic glory, erasing a staggering 103 bugs in a single glorious explosion. Few can boast such tactical brilliance. Fewer still can say they've used Super Earth's resources with such devastating style. We here at the SES salute Helldiver Crystal for their flair, precision, and unabashed love of enormous, freedom-bringing booms. And Helldivers, don't forget, you too can have your valor immortalized if you act now. Join the official SES Super Discord, now over 9,600 members strong, and submit your clips in Helldivers Cinema. The more explosive, insane, funny, or downright epic, the better.
In today's fan art spotlight, we turn our attention to a remarkable piece, or pieces, of fan art shared by user The Cactus Man. Instead of canvas or digital brushstrokes, this artist has gone the miniature route, crafting a full collection of hand-painted Helldiver figurines. Each figure showcases unique armor sets with striking color variations, demonstrating both battlefield grit and the individuality of every soldier of managed democracy. The detail is staggering. One Helldiver clutches their stomach, visibly wounded and bleeding, capturing the raw sacrifice that comes with the fight for Super Earth. Together, the set doesn't just represent soldiers, it tells a story of camaraderie, pain, and defiance on the front lines. A reminder that even at miniature scale, democracy looms large. So remember, Helldivers, if you are an artist, be sure to always share your creations to the SES Super Discord fan art section for a chance to be featured in an episode of The Liberty.
The level of detail on those miniatures is incredible. I could almost mistake them for the real thing.
Same here, and that wounded Helldiver looks like you could almost hear them groaning in pain.
Man, now I'm tempted to start a miniature collection of my own, with at least one clutching an autocannon.
Careful, I hear once you start, it becomes very addictive.
We conclude today's broadcast with the Super Earth Art of War. Helldivers. War is many things. Chaos, glory, explosions, and occasionally getting swallowed whole by a Bile Titan. But let us not forget one of the most crucial pillars of victory, doing your laundry. For while bravery may win battles, a foul-smelling balaclava can lose friends faster than a misplaced hellbomb. Stinky armor is not only uncomfortable, it's profoundly undemocratic. After all, what message does it send to your squad when you reek of yesterday's bug gunk? That you're brave? No. It says, I have brought microbial tyranny into our sacred foxhole. Cleanliness, comrades, isn't vanity. It's strategy. A polished chestplate blinds the enemy under a righteous sunbeam. A freshly scrubbed boot strikes with added confidence and style. And nothing says, I fight for managed democracy quite like a uniform that smells less like fermented Hive Lord puke and more like liberty itself. So, Helldivers, remember, take the time to launder your kit. For in the war for freedom, only the fresh and the fragrant will prevail. Dirty armor may carry the marks of battle, but it is recently cleaned armor that carries the pine-scented torch of Super Earth. Once again, we have reached the end of another installment of the Liberty. Troops, the great expedition can only continue if the DSS is upgraded. Let's see the job done. Tomorrow we'll be streaming once again at 4 PM EST, doing our part to dismantle the Squid's defenses as we push to win the current major order. Until then, brave warriors, stay liberated and never ever surrender. For Super Earth and democracy.